Today it's what's today's date? It is six.
6.
Today it's 6 Tuesday, and as always, we're working on the book by Stephen Covey. We almost finished this, and there's after. Hold on, let me just check because I have to move myself from the.
I
All
want to
right,
get to a point in my life where I don't know what day it is.
got it. I understand. I understand. All right, I understand. Here we are. So welcome everyone. So I have to do a technical move with my camera so to get in. So we're streaming live now in YouTube, and let's start with our wellness and savers club. I'm gonna get you to the Miracle Morning app. I'm supposed to put it vertical, but I'm gonna make it this way. So let's go to sign and let's find out one of our savers. Let's your contribution. Well, use one. Um, let's go to make get fit with healthy habits. Let's go get fit with healthy habits today. Focus on get with healthy habits while doing all favors in less than 20 minutes. The Osborne will bring us silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing together. So let's go there. Okay. And as always, uh,
Are you sharing?
yes. That Mark.
Sorry, when I asked that, it's because we don't see it.
You don't see it? Okay, hold on. All right. Let's go to the screen and let's go inside.
But those were really cool moves you were doing.
So you, yes?
We see your screen now. There we go.
Good morning.
All right, good.
My name is Lucy Osborne, and you are
All
about
right,
to do your
move.
Miracle Morning and all 6 savers: silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, with the focus on getting fit with healthy habits.
Stand up.
So be sure you have the space to sit, the space to stand and move, and something to write with. We're doing almost the entire thing moving, so stand up. head to your kitchen, and step 1 is grab yourself a glass of water. So go to the fridge or the sink, pour yourself a nice, refreshing glass of water to hydrate the cells of your body. Take a sip, and then another one, and prime yourself for a day of healthy habits.
March.
Did you do it? All right, put that glass down. March in place. Left, right, left, right, left, right, march. Swing the arms as you march the feet.
March.
You've already taken step 1. You're on the path. And where are you going? Visualize it. What are you headed towards? Why did you press play on this miracle morning routine today? Why is feeling healthy and strong and fit in the body that you have important to you? What would it look like for you to feel full of energy, radiant, vibrant, strong, courageous, able to do all of the things you want to do, go all of the places you want to go? What does healthy and fit look like to you? Fit is an abstract thought, but what do you want to be able to do? Create your own affirmation. I am fit for blank. Maybe it's running a 5K. Maybe it's playing with your kids. Maybe it's moving pain-free. Maybe it's climbing a mountain. Maybe it's aging gracefully and strongly. Maybe it's dancing at a wedding. Create your own. I am fit for... Remember, you're still marching. What are you marching towards? Being fit for what? What's your why? Once you have that why in mind, slow those feet down and start to shift your weight side to side. Shift your weight side to side. Create a little groove in the body, almost like a dance. Now we're going high energy, high cardio, high intensity. So jump rope. You don't need a jump rope. Just pretend like you have one. So a jump in the feet. The arms are moving as if you have a jump rope. And repeat. I take care of my body.
Care of my body.
I take care of my body. Jump. I take care of my body. I take care of my body. Now stop and do 3 push-ups.
3 push-ups. Go down. 3 push-ups.
Now on the ground or hands against the wall. You can do them on your knees or not, but 3 push-ups, your style. Once you're done with those, stand back up. Jumping jacks.
All right. Jumping jack.
Jumping jacks. Arms moving, feet moving. Heart open. Smile on the face. You got it. Now we say, I make healthy choices.
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 I make healthy choices. 3 push-ups.
Okay, go down, 3 push-ups.
You got this.
Get a wall.
Whatever you
Anyone
can
you
do
can.
is enough. You're doing it. Once you've done it, stand on up and sprint.
All right.
You took that march where you were going
Sprint.
before and you turned up the volume on it. Sprint. Run in place.
Run,
Say,
run.
I can do
Run.
hard
I
things.
can do my things.
I can do hard
can do
things.
Run.
I can do hard things. I can do hard things. 3 push-ups.
All right. Go down. 3 push-ups. 3 push-ups.
When you're done, stand back up.
Take up.
We're doing all of that through. So pick up your imaginary jump rope and get to jump roping.
All right. Jump rope.
We say, I take care of my body.
I take care of my body.
I take care of my body.
Take care of my body.
I take care of my body.
Take care of
Jumping jacks. I make healthy choices.
healthy choices.
I make healthy choices.
I make healthy choices.
I make healthy
I
choices.
make healthy
Sprint. I
Sprint.
can do hard things.
sprint.
You got it. I can do hard
I can do hard
things.
things. Sprint.
I can do hard
I can do hard things. Three.
Now do a hard thing. 3 push-ups.
3 push-ups. Go down. Go down. Go down.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You showed up. You pressed play. You're doing great.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Go.
Stand on up when you're ready. Get ready to do that all again. Jump rope. I take care of my
I
body.
take care of
Jumping jacks. I make healthy choices.
I
Now sprint. I do hard things.
do hard things. Sprint.
Jump
Jump
rope.
rope. Ooh.
Jumping
Jumping
jacks. Sprint. Jump rope.
rope.
I take care of my body. Jumping jacks. I make healthy choices. Sprint. I can do hard
I can do hard
things.
things.
3
3
push-ups.
push-ups. Go down.
This is
down, go
it.
down.
This is your finisher. 3 push-ups. Again, they can be on your knees. You can have your hands on the wall. You can even
Wow.
press your hands together, palms together for an isometric press if you're not ready for that body weight yet. You start where you start. And then you come back tomorrow and you try it again. Now come back to your march.
Okay. March. March.
Back to your march, reminding yourself of where you're going, what you're getting fit for, what you're fit to do. And bring that march back. Heart open, proud, letting your breath return to you, letting your heartbeat come back to a more regular rhythm. And say thank you, either mentally or aloud.
Thank you.
Thank you, feet.
Thank you, feet.
Thank you, legs.
Thank you, leg.
Thank you, hips.
Thank you, hips.
Thank you, core.
Thank you, core.
Thank you, back.
Thank you, back.
Thank you, chest.
Thank you, chest.
Thank you, shoulders.
Thank you.
Thank you, arms. Thank you, hands and
Thank
fists.
you, nothing.
Thank you, body.
Thank you, body.
Thank you, mind.
Thank you, mind.
Thank you, heart.
Thank you, heart.
Thank you, life.
Thank you.
Now thank yourself for showing up, for making this choice out of all of the choices you could have made this morning. You made this one. Hands on your heart, give yourself a thank you.
Thank you.
And breathe.
March, walk.
Stay standing with your hands on your heart and listen to the reading of this excerpt from the Intensati Method by Patricia Moreno, who you'll also find on this app, leading you through savers, meditations, visualizations, workouts. She writes, "What is self-discipline? First, I will tell you what discipline is not. It is not a punishment. It is not depriving yourself or beating yourself up. It is not sucking all the joy out of your life. Discipline is not saying no for the sake of torturing yourself. It is not about starving, sulking, or stewing. Discipline is present inside all of us. As we feed our self-discipline, we grow stronger, braver, more awake and aware of the possibility of a new way of life. It takes time, patience, and love to develop. Self-discipline means holding fast to your vision of health and happiness and acting moment by moment with integrity in order to achieve that vision. Self-discipline empowers you to surrender negative thoughts for positive ones. Self-discipline motivates you to get up and move, even when you don't feel like it. Self-discipline allows you to choose fresh food to fuel yourself. Self-discipline means honoring yourself enough to know that you deserve to feel and live better. Self-discipline means engaging honestly and deeply with any fears, failures, and old habits currently standing in your way. Self-discipline grants you the power to keep your word in the face of any challenge. Self-discipline is freedom, abundance, joy, and happiness, not punishment, restraint, and suffering. You've been here with us for 12 minutes already. That is a show of self-discipline, of integrity, of doing something for yourself. So congratulations. And let's make a little plan to keep this going. Go grab your journal. If you're writing in this app, switch over to the journaling part of the app. Otherwise, open the journal you have at home. And let's write a little plan. What are 10 healthy choices I could make today that would support more healthy habits? That's what we're writing today. So make your list of 10 and challenge yourself to get to 10 before you close that journal. If they come easily and quickly, keep writing. 15, 20, 25. If it takes you the whole time to get to 10, that's fine too. But write 10, make that commitment to yourself. What are 10 healthy choices I could make today that would support more healthy habits? How might I move my body? How might I fuel myself? How might I spend my time? What might I start doing? What might I release or stop doing? How might I support myself for better sleep? How might I support myself in waking up earlier? How might I speak to myself differently? Get to your 10. Healthy choices I could make today that would support more healthy habits. Now take this momentum you've created in these last 15 minutes and start to implement some of those things on your list. Follow through on this promise to yourself. Because you've done your savers, this part of your day is complete. Now make the rest of the day the best of the day. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Right. All right, guys. That's the 5 a.m. Savers and Wellness Club number 352. And let's talk in terms of the healthy choices that we're going to make, the plan that we're going to make healthy choices. Um, for me, it's drink water, 3-4 glasses, starting in the morning. Gym every day, or at least 4 or 5 times with wife. 2-3 recovery days, which is rest day, no matter what. Sleep enough, early to bed. Physical checkup once a year. Non-stopping. 2,000 calories per day. Counted this time. 5 a.m. Service Wellness Club will give me 60 spins. Start with up. It's interesting in the morning. Getting ready for the an hour plus the gym. Running with the clubs at least 1 to 2 days, especially long run on Sunday. Not to do it alone. Track foods and all habits and biomarkers. Become a biohacker with my team, Dr. Raki and Ramon. And usually walk. She loves to walk, including the gym. In the end, at least 10,000 walks per day to increase that in the neighborhood. Okay, let's check your 10 healthy habits for this year. Become healthier, better. Let's see who I see from the beginning. I see Rosaura and Steve. Rosaura, 10 healthy habits.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rosaura.
Sí.
Hola, Marta. Okay, so the first habit that I have here is continue setting boundaries because it's important to have healthy relationships. Then I went on with the drink more water, exercise regularly, eat a balanced diet, and make sure that it's a mindful eating. Wake up, try to practice in every activities that I do, a growth and positive mindset. Do the meditations throughout the day and deep breathing to handle stress, those stress that comes in spontaneously all through the day. Get quality sleep. Stay socially connected with friends, with family members. And of course, the self-care. Like doing my nails or getting something for myself, something that uplift my spirit. And those are my 10 healthy habits.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Steve. What are you?
Morning, everyone. So, my opportunity goes as follows. I will increase cardio, implement weight training. I will implement a balanced diet. I will limit screen and electronics. Get to bed earlier. Implement supplements and vitamins. Meditate more often. Read more. Increase my water intake and make routine doctor's appointments.
Right. We got tens. Victor Catano, Dr. Marching. Victor.
I go by that name depending on who's looking for me.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see.
Um, 10 healthy choices. Continue to eat better and stay under my calorie count. Continue to read labels carefully to make sure that it's not just about the calories, about the number of proteins and carbs and fats. Number two, not overuse my body in order to avoid injury. Be smarter about that. Um, Practice in the app Smarty Me and continue to grow with my communication and presentation skills. Go get a colonoscopy. I got the prompt about 3 months ago, and I'm in that age bracket, and I got to do it. Say my affirmations more frequently, especially during hard moments in the day. Continue my training with great gratitude and attitude. 7, explore some low interest loans now that I have paid every bill on time for a whole year, and there should be more favorable rates. Continue a life of daily prayer and worship. This fills my heart and spirit every day. 9, take deep breaths when I am feeling my ire rising. And number 10, strengthen my practices of forgiveness in order to ensure that I do not carry any resentment in my heart, that I am able to forgive people the way Jesus has forgiven me. 10.
Amen. Right. Dr. C.
Good morning. I've got fasting, eat protein when I do eat, take dogs out for longer walks or go work out, reading, prayer, meditation. I guess this was 6B, 20 minutes silence. Only sugar being from fruit and honey, using less phone, and wearing more cotton-only fabrics, and then continue with my no alcohol.
Okay. Let's go to Marta Rodriguez Altagracia.
Yeah, right here.
All right.
Yeah. I have my 10 choices. First, to meditate at 4 o'clock every day. I don't play with that. And the take care my 5 o'clock 5 a.m. club. Make a medical appointment with the doctor. Exercise every day, Martica. Drink more water. A good food. I don't play with that. And dance. And every day, clean my kitchen every day. What is something else? And continue my walking. I have to walking up apart to the exercise, walking, and call my daughter every day. I make love every day. No. Make love more frequently.
Hey,
This,
yo.
this is part of the life. I'm healthy. They chose it. Okay, I have a thing.
All right. You heard it. You
I
heard
love
it.
you, Grandma. You're the best.
So if you're not doing it every day, you wouldn't
No,
have a problem. That's for all of us. That's
I
for
no,
all of
only
us.
no,
save my AOs for special moments.
no, not every day, but more frequently.
We heard you. We heard you. All right, Gregory.
Good morning, everyone. I drink a minimum of 1 gallon of water daily. I have a minimum of 1,000 steps daily. Cook a healthy meal minimum 3 times a week. I have a goal of losing some weight, 1 to 2 pounds on a weekly basis. Keep sugar levels normal consistently for 30 days in a row. Serve community church people at least 1 day every week. Pray, meditate daily. Have fun minimum 1 time a week. Master my leadership skills. Commit to developing my leadership skills weekly. And lastly, consistent family time throughout the days and the weeks. There you go.
Exactly. So I checked some habits, boundaries, self-care, cardio, strength training, supplements, colonoscopy, prayer, forgiveness, not to get resentful, fasting, less phone, no alcohol, no screaming, dance, call daughter every day, make love every day or frequently, lose pounds, sugar normal, church, have fun, leadership skills, and family. So with that, let's go to Victor Catano. Do you have the power? Yeah, you have the power.
You got the power. Ooh, ooh.
She got the
No,
power. He got the power.
Marta got the power today.
Well, it's frequently, more frequently. Right. So we are in habit 6, synergize. I think we finished that habit, and we're gonna go all the way until Jean Colby explained the whole habit inside of habit 6. I think if let me see. Yeah, I think we can go and finish it up today. Go, Victor.
Synergistic and wanted to keep talking. The very first recommendation made by the developer was seen as a beginning win-win approach kept every communication. This resulted in deeper mutual understanding and a collective awareness of how poor early communication had resulted in misunderstanding and unrealistic expectations, and how continuous communication in a win-win spirit could have prevented the subsequent major problems from developing. The shared
Right.
sense of both chronic and acute pain, combined with the sense of genuine progress, kept everyone communicating. By noon, when the meeting was scheduled to end, the people were positive, creative, and synergistic and wanted to keep talking. The very first recommendation made by the developer was seen as a beginning win-win approach by all. It was synergized on and improved, and by 12:45 p.m., the developer and the 2 bank officers left with a plan to present together to the Homeowners Association and the city. Despite subsequent complicating developments, the legal fight was aborted and the building project continued to a successful conclusion. I am not suggesting that people should not use legal processes. Not at all. Some situations absolutely require it. But I see it as a court of last, not first resort. If it is used too early, even in the preventative sense, sometimes fear and the legal paradigm create subsequent thought and action processes that are not synergistic. All nature is synergistic. Ecology is a word which basically describes the synergism in nature. Everything is related to everything else. It's in the relationship that creative powers are maximized, just as the real power in these 7 habits is in their relationship to each other, not just in the individual habits themselves. In other words, these are not piecemeal techniques and ideas. They are all deeply interrelated. The 7 habits themselves is an example, a model of synergy. The relationships of the parts is also the power in creating a synergistic culture inside a family or an organization. The more genuine the involvement, the more sincere and sustained the participation in analyzing and solving problems, the greater the release of everyone's creativity and of their commitment to what they create. Synergy works. It is a correct principle. It is the crowning achievement of all the previous habits. It is effectiveness in an interdependent reality. It is teamwork, team building, the development of unity and creativity with other human beings. Although you cannot control the paradigms of others in an interdependent interaction or the synergistic process itself, a great deal of synergy is within your circle of influence. Your own internal synergy is completely within the circle. You can respect both sides of your own nature, the analytical side and the creative side. You can value the difference between them and use that difference to catalyze creativity. You can be synergistic within yourself, even in the midst of a very adversarial environment. You don't have to take insults personally. You can sidestep negative energy. You can look for the good in others and utilize that good, as different as it may be, to improve your point of view and to enlarge your perspective. You can exercise the courage in interdependent situations to be open, to express your ideas, your feelings, and your experiences in a way that will encourage other people to be open also. You can value the difference in other people. When someone disagrees with you, you can say, "Good, you see it differently. I'd like to understand." You don't have to agree with them. You can simply affirm them, and you can seek to understand. When you see only 2 alternatives, yours and the wrong one, you can look for a synergistic third alternative. There's almost always a third alternative, and if you work with a win-win philosophy and really seek to understand, you can usually find a solution that will be better for everyone concerned. The win-win spirit creates unity on that which is essential, which enables differences to become productive, creative, and synergistic. If there isn't a win-win spirit, a common sense of what is really important in the quality of the relationship, then differences can often become counterproductive. That's why these 3 habits, 4, 5, and 6, are so interwoven and cannot be dealt with successfully unless all 3 are examined almost simultaneously. Here are 4 application suggestions that will help develop the ability to synergize. Habit 6. First, think about a person who typically sees things differently than you do. Consider ways in which those differences might be used as stepping stones to third alternative solutions. Perhaps you could seek out his or her views on a current project or problem, valuing the different views that you are likely to hear. 2. Make a list of people who irritate you. Do they represent different views that could lead to synergy if you had greater intrinsic security and valued the difference? 3. Identify a situation in which you desire greater teamwork and synergy. What conditions would need to exist to support synergy? What can you do to create those conditions? 4. The next time you have a disagreement or confrontation with someone, attempt to address the concerns underlying that person's position. Address those concerns in a creative and mutually beneficial way.
New insights on Habit 6, Synergize. Sergey had been studying computer science at Stanford University for 2 years when he was assigned to help new students at spring orientation. That morning, he was slated to show a guy named Larry around the campus. They didn't hit it off right away and found each other quite obnoxious. They disagreed on nearly everything, but eventually they had so much fun contradicting each other on every topic that they became friends. While both Sergey and Larry liked computers, they were total opposites. Sergey was a party guy. Larry was private and reserved. Sergey couldn't sit still. Larry had once painstakingly built a printer out of Lego bricks. When they later worked together as part of Larry's dissertation, they experimented with a new way to search the internet. At that time, you would type a word into the computer, and the internet would spit back how many times the word showed up and where. Larry thought it would be interesting to search for links, not for words. He figured the more often a website was linked to other websites, the more important it was. Using his approach, search results would come up on your screen in order of importance. Sergey and Larry called their new program Backrub because it counted the number of links back to an original website. To run the program, they filled Larry's room with so many cheap computers that the university's network nearly shut down. So they moved their project into a friend's garage. Years later, more than 1 billion people use Backrub, now called Google, the company Larry Page and Sergey Brin started in a dorm. The two college guys who founded Google rarely agreed on anything. What would have happened if they had always seen eye to eye? What if they had had exactly the same talents? What if they had both been alike, either introverts or extroverts? Clearly, they needed each other's strengths to build one of the world's greatest companies. Neither could have done it alone. Believe in third alternatives. After working with thousands of organizations, we have learned at Franklin Covey that synergy works. It's not just a nice theory or an ideal. Life is a team sport, and with the right attitude and skills, you can find synergistic answers to complex problems, not all of the time, but most of the time. To find third alternatives, you have to believe they exist. You have to believe in the idea that by working together, we can find a solution that is better than what either of us had in mind. If you don't believe this, if you're thinking synergy is unrealistic and that it is either your way or my way, you will never master it. A key building block to finding third alternatives is to set aside your ego and acknowledge that you need the collective intelligence of everyone involved to find the best solution. Every individual is smart in different ways, and everyone can contribute. Increasingly, science is teaching us about how complex a thing intelligence is. Howard Gardner, a psychologist who teaches at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, proposes 9 different types of intelligence and suggests that individuals possess one or more of these attributes. Number 1. Spatial. Ability to find oneself in spaces, both large and small. 2. Linguistic. Ability with words, written and spoken. 3. Logical mathematical. Ability to deal with logic, numbers, and reasoning. 4. Kinesthetic. Coordination, sense of timing, good reflexes, hand dexterity. 5. Musical. Sensitivity to sounds, tones, rhythms, and pitch. 6. Interpersonal. Sensitivity to others' moods and motives, the ability to cooperate, get along, and be team players. 7. Intrapersonal. ability to self-reflect and decipher one's own feelings. 8. Naturalist, ability to make consequential distinctions in the natural world among animals, plants, clouds, and other configurations. 9. Existential, the tendency to raise big questions about life and to search for answers. Yet another building block to finding third alternatives is conversation. We must learn to communicate with one another a lot. We need to brainstorm, talk through issues, bounce ideas off each other, and go back to the drawing board again and again and again. Wilbur and Orville Wright would have never invented the airplane without a great deal of discussion and thorough valuing of each other's differences. Shortly before his death, Wilbur made this statement, that nearly everything that was done in our lives has been the result of conversations, suggestions, and discussion between us. At local TV stations, the news and sales departments are often in conflict. Such was the case with meteorologist Travis Koshko, who shared with me how his TV station was able to find a third alternative to a conflict through healthy communication and brainstorming. Here's what Travis told me. For many years, my television station did a 3-degree guarantee contest that incentivized incorrect temperature forecasts. Every time I missed the previous day's forecast high by more than 3 degrees, we would give away a small prize from the segment sponsor. After nearly 10 years of doing this segment, it was obvious the contest was becoming stale. The number of viewers signing up for the contest kept decreasing. We weren't missing the forecast high very often, which was great in terms of our forecasting reputation, but it also meant we never gave anything away. The number of viewers signing up for the contest eventually dropped off to near zero, and it seemed the contest was failing in terms of sponsor exposure and viewer interest. I wondered if we should cancel the entire segment, but our account executive, Josephine, wanted to keep it to maintain revenue for the station. We were at odds and needed a change. So I approached Josephine with a new idea. Why not restructure the contest to a lottery format? We would start with a small jackpot, $19, to match our station channel number. And every day we forecasted within 3 degrees, we'd add another $5 to the jackpot. We'd give away the entire jackpot when we were off by more than 3 degrees, and the jackpot would then start again at $19. This way, there was continued incentive for us to be accurate and for people to sign up for the contest as the prize increased. The first thing I noticed was that Josephine was totally open to my influence and really liked my idea. We then worked to refine and polish the idea so that it met everyone's needs, hers, mine, the sponsors, and the station's. Well, it didn't take long for our contest to become a big success. The number of people who signed up for it skyrocketed. At one point, we had a run of 41 consecutive correct days, which yielded our largest ever jackpot. It created a lot of buzz on social media, and many people would stop me outside of work to talk about the jackpots. Our sponsor was very pleased with the revamped contest, too. It would have been easy to let the contest flounder and lose a valuable opportunity. But because Josephine and I were willing to create a new alternative, everyone involved ended up a winner. I got to maintain my reputation as an accurate meteorologist, Josephine increased revenue for the station, and our viewers won a lot of money. Complementary teams. I remember complaining about my boss on one occasion, and my dad responded, "Sure, he has weaknesses, just as you do. Don't build your emotional life around the weakness of another person. Instead, run with his strengths and try to compensate for his weaknesses. Compliment him." He put this into practice himself. When he started Covey Leadership Center, he initially assumed the role of CEO. He realized very quickly, I'm not good at this, I'm a teacher. And so he hired great people around him who could bring executive leadership skills to complement him without his ego being threatened. But the greatest example of synergy in my dad's life was between him and my mom. They were very different in their backgrounds and approach to life. My mom was raised in humble circumstances. Her mother emigrated from Germany during World War II, leaving everything behind. She didn't dare speak German in her new home, and she worked hard to erase her accent. My mom's dad was a high school history teacher, so money was always tight, whereas my dad was raised in a more prosperous environment. Because of these differences, frugality was sometimes a point of contention. My mom would say things like, "You're buying a double-decker ice cream cone? We don't have that kind of money." Through the years, I saw how Dad came to appreciate my mom's worldview and how it complemented instead of conflicted with his. It taught him that there was a middle ground, better than what they had individually had in mind. And if they communicated well, they could get there. Without my mother, I don't think my father would have ever come to understand synergy like he did. As my dad's renown grew, my mom was the only one who would give him honest feedback. Once he gave a speech along with Ken Blanchard and other notable speakers in front of a massive audience. Afterward, everybody complimented Dad. But my mother said, "It wasn't your best speech, Stephen. You were so serious and had way too many diagrams. People want to hear stories. Why don't you tell more stories like Ken?" Mom always encouraged Dad to be less complicated, to smile more, and to be more personal. He came to value her feedback above everybody else's because she saw things differently, and she would always tell it like it was. Synergy with customers. In addition to interpersonal synergy, we can find striking examples of the power of creative collaboration among industries, stakeholders, and customers. Personally, I love Legos, and the Lego Corporation has always fascinated me. It is one of the most trusted companies in the world. One of their core strengths is synergy with their customers. Since 1949, Lego has created and released their beloved bricks in prepackaged sets, like the popular Star Wars collection. Many customers, mostly adults who were children at heart, pleaded with the company to let them design their own sets and order the pieces they needed online. In 2005, in response to that demand, Lego created a free software product called Lego Digital Designer to make this possible. Then, curious things began to happen. Users created software hacks for Lego's computer systems, stealthily rewriting the program code so that, rather than ordering pallets of bricks with only a few bricks they may need, they could see an inventory of each pallet and save money by getting fewer of the bricks they didn't need. Lego caught on to the hack quickly, but unlike what you'd expect a company to do when their bottom line was being affected, Lego recognized the value of letting these customers adapt the software to their own needs. And while Lego was surprised at how quickly their customers were able to hack the software, Lego embraced their modifications. They saw what their most loyal fans wanted and let them have it, because it ultimately fit Lego's larger plan. Lego had hoped that its fans would make the designs their own and even perhaps come up with ideas that Lego could use, and they did. In the spirit of synergy, Lego stepped back and listened to the hackers, seeking first to understand and valuing the differences of opinion. The potentially sour situation turned into a sweet display of synergistic thinking. Getting to synergy. Synergy doesn't just happen. You have to get there. If you are not sure where to start, follow the simple 5-step process. 1. Define the problem or opportunity. 2. Their way. Seek first to understand the ideas of others. 3. My way. Seek to be understood by sharing your ideas. 4. Brainstorm. Create new options and ideas. And finally, 5. Highway. Find the best solution. A colleague of mine shared how she got to synergy with her family around how to use their Saturdays. Notice how all 5 of these steps were followed. Here's what she told me. Saturdays are for spending time together and for building family relationships. That is what my husband would say if you asked him why we have Saturdays. My answer is very different. My school of thought is, Saturdays are for catching up on cleaning and doing projects around the house, basically, finishing my to-do list. My kids do not like my philosophy. We battled almost every Saturday. Dad would want to get out and go to the park, and I would want to weed the yard. Guess who won? Every single time. Dad. I mean, what kids really want to weed the yard? Not mine. I will admit, I get a little bit of tunnel vision when I get going on a project. I have a hard time letting enough be enough and being done. If I start cleaning the kitchen, it leads to the living room, and then the bathroom, laundry, bedrooms, etc. One Friday night, as we were watching TV, the following conversation happened between my dear husband and me. Husband: Hey, how about tomorrow we go do something outside first thing in the morning? Me: Well, there's a lot of housework to be done, and we need to get started on it early. Husband: How about you make a list of what actually needs to be done, and let's take a look at it? Me: I'm list writing as furiously as I can, praying I don't forget anything. Then I hand the list to him. Husband: Okay, we can really get about half of that done in a few hours' time. Do you think the kids will really last long enough to actually be of help? Me: Nope. We need a new plan, don't we? Husband: Yes. Well, since it is going to be cooler in the morning, side note, it gets well above 105 degrees in the summer where we live, what if we take some time and go to the park, grab some sodas, and come home and do the chores you think are most important? Me: Let's give it a try. So we woke up Saturday morning and got ready to go to the park. The kids were thrilled that we were going before it got too hot. They played for a good hour. My husband and I even got to walk around on the park trail and then play with the kids. We were all tired by the time it was getting hot. We stopped at our favorite drink place to cool off and then went home to do the chores that needed to be done. When I showed the kids a list of to-dos, there was actually very little complaining. She concluded, My husband and I are both very happy now with what we call Synergy Saturdays. Synergy is the ultimate habit, the culmination of all the previous habits. It is the reward or the delicious fruit of effective living. So the next time you are in a meeting and someone says something that strikes you as being way off the mark, say out loud, Good. You see it differently.
All right.
Part 4. Renewal.
Let's stop it right there.
Habit 7.
Okay, so that's habit 6 complete today. So as Jean Covey see it, so they have a 10-minute discussions about it. So let me just go and check the timer this time, so that we can have a discussions on it and finish it up. Okay, continue. I'm gonna go to reading. I'm gonna put timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes now.
Well,
Oh,
go ahead, Morton.
okay. uh, I start for the end. I catch myself before to read more easy, in the more easy way, uh, with the opinion to the another person. Uh, I say, oh, it's so cool to don't be to to think different to the another person. Um, and they don't bother me, the opinion, the person. Like, okay, I accept it. But this chapter in the end, I go, with the conscience, the synergy. But this appear, the thing, the bother me, uh I start to don't pay attention. Don't it's nobody me. I learn that um because the thing in our searching in the moment or the change appear in the moment there's something happen, and it's very good for me to be conscious the the change because we do this for be better. And I am not like last year. And this little thing that we come taking and the change in the habit coming coming uh like natural. This is my experience.
Yeah, thank you, Marta. I just want to add to what you said is that obtaining synergy in a group is very important because sometimes we even planning something as simple as a party or trip, and they are always differences in opinion. So with synergy, we seek first to understand and value those differences in opinion. They talk about set aside the ego because every individual is smart in different ways. So if we focus on the solutions and not on the problem, it is one of the ways in that we can make synergy in a group. And it's very important in all settings. Doesn't matter how simple the situation that we are addressing, once there is more than one person involved, there will be differences in opinion.
Yeah, excellent points. Excellent points. Was all. Synergy is touched a lot in these last couple of chapters, and we just look at the a couple of types of synergy that I believe were touched on were mutualism and reciprocity, especially with the relationship with the Lego situation where they were actually using the hackers and they're using their ideas and letting them create, and in return, their Lego let their company build off of what the hackers wanted, and they drew up stuff and made stuff, and that's why Lego is what it is today. So that synergy, mutualism, and reciprocity was implemented in that situation, and that's the way we can look at forging relationships. There has to be a mutualism in nature. There has to be reciprocity in nature, in human nature, and I think those are important.
It's true. All right. We see Candido. Don't see Victor.
The part that stuck out to me is just, I guess, making your enemies your friends. How do you synergize with people you don't want to? And just having that mindset of not treating everyone like they are your friend, but treating everyone as if it's you and them against the problem versus you versus them. And I think that's just something I struggle with sometimes, more so in the past, but it's trying to keep that at a consistent basis rather than thinking that I have to battle everybody. I need to think about battling the problems ahead.
I think the hardest thing to do is when you think that you're right about something. Um, it's actually trying to see what somebody else is saying, right? So like if you've done something over and over again and you know how to do it, right? And somebody else doesn't know, and you know that somebody else doesn't know how to do it, and they come with an idea. Sometimes it can be very hard to, um, to hear what they're saying because like you start things from a mind frame of they don't know what they're talking about, right? And I think that people who are in that position, when they're able to, to open their heart and their mind, sometimes they can hear things that they might not have thought of. And sometimes it's actually really good to have somebody who is not familiar with a problem, right? Because they're not going to overlook something that maybe you've just accepted as a way of being, right? And so to to hear other people when there's the problem even is, right? um but yeah, it's something to work on.
Yeah, Martin, I find it, myself in that similar situation sometimes. But you have to look at it as, I would say, you have to find a benefit, a benefit of what's the benefit of working with somebody that, you don't genuinely care for and that, that you may not like. And there is always a benefit we can find. And that's the altruism of synergy right there, you find that that act of helping others, even at a personal cost to yourself, out of just out of a genuine desire to do so, rather than an obligation or duty to do so. So if you can find a benefit, um, if you can find a benefit out of working with that person, just try to take that altruism approach and see if that works.
Appreciate it, Steve.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite things to do in an argument, and this is something that I've always had, is to just like when I feel like the argument is just a little bit too much, I just say, look, you know what? I'm just gonna have to agree to disagree with you. I find that that is such a disarming statement with to someone, right? We're in the middle of something, we're going through it, we don't agree, it's getting contentious, and I just go, okay, look, you know what? I feel the way that I feel, but I'm just going to agree to disagree with you. I don't see it the way you do, but I understand and I respect where you're coming from. I find that sometimes that actually sets conversations in a different direction, and it's helped me a lot.
Candido, you want to have the word?
Yes, good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Candido.
Synergy, what I got about synergy is all about teamwork because when people work together, the results are greater than any individual can achieve. And just acknowledge that together is better. So I got from synergy.
Thank you. So synergy is the ultimate habit. The combinations of all the previous habits is the reward or the delicious fruit of effective living. So the next time you are in a meeting and someone says something that strikes you as being way off the mark, say out loud, good, you see it differently. So thank you very much. Today it's the day when Sigmund Freud, my grandpa, was born. It's 170 days, so I'm gonna celebrate his age starting with the 5 a.m. Savers Clubs today and thanking you guys. And see you tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
Bye
Have a
bye.
great day.
Have a great day, everyone.
Be a day.
Mhm.
All right.